Go. Go. Yeah, the impact is good. Ready, go. Go. Yep, very consistent. Now let's see what is happening. Again, the whole thing is fairly upper body driven. So lower body is not doing much. Basically, you are swinging the whole thing. Yeah. And then, yeah, the swing plane and everything is reasonable, so we don't have to worry about that. So we need to increase the rhythm. Okay, that means you have to engage your lower body more, and instead of putting a lot of effort near the impact and having big follow through, so we need to accelerate early on and then let the club go. Okay. Okay, so let's start with the rope swing. Have you tried the rope before?
No.
Okay, just try to swing back and forth continuously. Swing, swing, swing. Okay, so here, instead of rope, let's first start with the kettlebell. I think we need to engage your lower body first and then try to move into the rope swing. So hold the kettlebell with the palms forward. And here, do not use your arms. The feel you need to have is turning the whole upper extremity using the muscles here. So it's not your arm muscles, but engage these muscles here and then turn the whole upper body. Swing. Yeah. Exactly. Yep. And then as you do, it's okay to shift the body toward and away. Actually, in order to engage these muscles, you have to move the body. Yeah. Yes. Already you're using the lower body.
Kettlebell.
Yeah. So as long as you have the feel of using these muscles and then turning the whole upper extremity using these muscles, then naturally you have to use your lower body. Yeah. So this is something you need to develop in the rope swing as well. Okay. Swings. And when I start counting, 1, so swing, swing, and then 1, 2, 3, and swing. There you go. Okay. Swing, swing, swing. 1, 2, 3, and go. That's the idea. So when you start using these muscles, automatically you will use your lower body better. And then on the way down, because you're engaging these muscles, so body, acceleration first, and then later you will be able to use the arms. Okay, so we are already in, you took the first step really well. Yeah. Swing, again, use the muscles in the core. Swing, 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 swing. 1, 2, 3, and swing. Yep. Swing, swing. 1, 2, 3, and swing.
It's muscles I haven't used.
Yeah. Yeah, look at this. Your lower body action. So I'll do the same thing from this direction. So, swing, swing, swing. 1, 2, 3, and go. Swing, swing, swing. 1, 2, 3, and go. So as long as you engage these muscles here, already you are getting away from arm-driven swing. And then you will start engaging the lower body more and more. And when this happens, as you can see here, when you start the downswing, you keep the shoulders closed a bit longer. Because
so it's not trying to pull down on this.
No,
it's just,
you're using these muscles here, starting the downswing with these muscles.
Getting this started, and it's kind of
and then
letting it
here, and then let it go. So everything is, this is a good start. I think it was the right decision to use the kettlebell first. Look at this. So and your lower body is moving a lot more. So here, just the swing, upper body, but with the kettlebell swing, yeah, you're using you're moving the lower body a little bit. In order to use these muscles, you have to
so
activate.
Going back and forth is fine.
Yeah, yeah, and then actually,
because in my mind, it's always keep.
No. This motion is really important. Right. The reason why we have this wide stance is because we want to have more room for this motion. If you don't want to move, then it's better to keep it this way.
I can hit it good that way.
With this, you can spin easily. This, anyone can do this. So this is not a problem, but as we saw in the data, in the frontal plane, how you develop the torque, that's what differentiates one golfer from another. And then that's why it is important to shift the body laterally, okay? Then remember that pattern, and let's go back to the rope swing. So again, when you start the swing, engage these muscles, not your arms, okay?
Should be flipping.
And then go all the way, go all the way. Start using these muscles. Yes. Yes. already by using the same feel of engaging these muscles, your initial rope swing and this one, they are very different.
Like, to me, that just feels like it's a lot of movement. And probably not.
You have to dance, and you have to feel the rhythm. Again, the reason why you are not using the ground that well is because you just have stationary lower body, and then just to try to turn the upper body. That's why you have excessive turn in the follow through, right? So again, when you engage these muscles, inevitably you have to work with the legs and the pelvis. So it will give you a more body-driven swing. Yep. So both ways, engage these muscles. Yes. Yep. Swing, swing, swing. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Swing, swing, swing. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Now with this motion, your swing plane is now more outward. Yeah. Your original swing, when we looked at the data, your hands were moving this way more. So what we need to this time is that as you go down, keep your hands a bit closer to your body. So let's keep the swing plane relatively toward me instead of going too far out, okay? So for that, the easiest way is to bring the hands a bit closer to your body. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. A bit more. Swing. 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 Okay. Swing. 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 Yeah. So you start engaging your body a lot more suddenly. So you are becoming a very different man.
It's tiring. You feel it there.
Yeah. And then you will feel this is a bit different because now you are engaging different muscles. Okay, instead of using the arms, and just to try to turn the shoulders quite a bit. So you had the shoulder acceleration through the impact, right? In my classification, it's called the late shoulder acceleration pattern. So instead of shoulder reaching peak angular velocity on the way down and then slow down while the club keeps accelerating, if you keep accelerating the shoulder through the impact, then it's called the late shoulder acceleration pattern. But because you're already engaging your big muscles here, so that pattern.
And that shoulder is what's causing.
Yeah. So you try to, in your image, because you try to put a lot of effort near the impact, then it is already late. As I said, when you realize that you have not saved that much money, then you start working really hard near the retirement age. Then it's too late. Okay, so this time we'll do the rope swing again, but try to have a bit more time at the top here. So allow the rope go around your body here. Okay, so instead of quickly bringing it down.
That's still letting this come.
Yeah, back. So you continuously turn your shoulders and then let the rope go around your body and then start the downswing. Right. Yeah, so have a bit more time at the top. And keep a bit more speed during the backswing. Keep backswing. Yep. Backswing, more speed. Yep. So the trick is at the end of the backswing, you add the arm motion. So initially the turn will be initiated by the core muscles here, right? And then add your arm motion at the end, then the rope will slide in here.
So keep all this until farther in the
Yeah.
net.
So always initiate the turn with the body, and then add the arm motion toward the end. Then the rope will nicely slide in. The rope is falling. So here. So currently what happens is as you go doing backswing, if you stop somewhere here, then what happens is the rope will fall down, and then you tend to come down right away. But if you let it go around your body, so you have to give a good wind up near the end.
So I don't need to worry about my arms staying straight.
No.
All right.
You can flex your arms. Nobody really keeps it straight. So so add a little bit of arm motion toward the end. And then the bottom line is, here, your focus should be the rope motion, not your body motion. Instead of what you want to do, pay attention to the rope motion. The goal is let the rope go around your body and nicely wrap around your body. So pay more attention to the rope motion. It's a rope motion centric. And they give continuous motion of the rope. Yes, keep the rope motion continuous. Yes. Perfect. That's the idea. That's the idea. So whatever you deal with, whether it's a rope or the kettlebell or the club, ultimately the main goal is to guide the rope or the club properly, right? So you want to generate the target, rope or club motion. Your body will just work together to secure that motion.
So my thought is get club to the top, and then from there it's.
So you will just usually so the top of backswing is viewed as the just initial position of the downswing, but actually that position is just a point you just go through. The whole motion is one piece motion. The backswing and downswing, everything is just one motion. You are simply passing through the top position. It's not the destination, or it's not the starting point, right? So it's just continuous motion. And then guide the rope continuously back and forth. Yeah, work with the rope. Come up with a good continuous motion of the rope. Yes. And then again, use the core muscles more. And then add the arm motion later. Yes. Very good. Now, so let's then go back to the club swing. Before I forget, do you like the red color or the navy?
It doesn't matter to me. Whatever.
It's a hot color here. So take this with you. Okay? This is a souvenir for you. And then keep working on the rope swing. The rope swing can be a good warm-up. And then also it will sequence your motion quite well. Now with the club, this time relax your wrist and arms, and then swing as if you are swinging a rope. Just back and forth. Yeah, go easy, easy, and then try to engage the core muscles. So start the turn with the body, and then add your arm motion later. Yeah, good. So as you add the arm and the wrist motion later, that you don't have to turn the shoulder like crazy. So you'll have a lot stable in the position for the
like
downswing.
Kettlebell started with.
Yeah.
And then add more.
Yeah. So always your arm motion and wrist motion will be added later. Okay? And then initially the motion should be driven by these muscles, as if you're turning the whole upper complex with these muscles and the lower body. Again, swing back and forth a few times. And in doing that, gradually adjust the swing plane toward me. Currently it's outward. Still is outward. In order to adjust in order to adjust the swing plane, you cannot just do it in the downswing, but you have to adjust the backswing as well. If the backswing, if the backswing is going flat inward too much, then it's hard to do it in the downswing, right? So you have to work with both. So adjust the backswing pad and then also adjust the downswing pad. And the goal is to swing it toward me. More, a bit more this way. Yeah, that's better. This is better, yes. This is better. Yes, yeah, that's good. So what you have to keep in mind is you have to pay attention to the overall orientation of the swing plane. As you swing back and forth, first you have to develop consistent motion plane. So both ways you have to use the same plane. And then if you feel the plane is more going outward, then you have to adjust this so more toward the target. Okay? And then only you can do it. But particularly, the adjustment should be done in the backswing. Because if you...
So if it's in here...
Yeah, if you go inward too much, then it's hard to shift it this way. So this is what you have to pay attention to. Now, let's go to the step drills. So we'll start with the stage 1. In stage 1, keep the feet together. And then throw the club toward the target. This is called the trigger motion. Okay, trigger. And then take the away step. And then backswing. During the backswing, you will take the toward the step. So that has to be done during the backswing, before you reach the top of backswing position, and then do the downswing. So make it continuous. And also, in doing this, pay attention to the continuous motion of the club head. Okay. Okay, good rhythm here. Now, so show me your trigger motion. Show me your trigger motion. Try to keep the hands a bit lower. Yeah. So keep the pad a bit lower. Yeah, that will help you to adjust the backswing direction. Yeah. Still lower a bit more. When you have used a flatter pad here, and then drop the club head slightly downward. Yeah. When you go a bit flatter here, then the backswing will more go that way instead of going inward. Yeah. That's good. Yes, that's very good. Yeah. So in other words, when you play, before you approach to the ball, you can use these step drills as your pre-shot routine. And in the pre-shot routine, depending on which direction you are throwing the club in the trigger motion, that will determine everything, right? So you have to pay attention to that. So when you do the pre-shot routine, when you practice, depending on how you guide the club, that will determine the backswing pad. The backswing pad will determine the downswing pad. So those are things that you need to pay attention in the trigger motion. Once you have a good pattern there, then in the rear swing, simply try to use that rhythm, right? So it will be pretty straightforward. Stage 1 again. No need to swing really hard. Just and also, in doing this, always pay attention to the wind-up part, not the downswing. No need to put a lot of effort in the downswing. Right. Just use 80% of your typical effort in the downswing. But more, try to have a good wind-up here, and then let it go. So in order to have a good wind-up, you have to use the trigger. So easy and feel the flow. Again. Yeah, the timing is right, so I will record this. So we'll spend the minimum time in stage 1 and 2, and then mainly we'll work on stage 3. Ready, go. Go. Okay, ready, go. Go. So instead of putting a lot of effort in the downswing or follow through, you just ride the flow, ride the rhythm, and then let it go. So here in your original swing, you tend to lean forward here and then on the way down, you're lifting up and then try to swing hard here. The arms are going up here. So what should happen is you're accelerating everything here, develop good speed, and after that, simply let it go instead of try to intentionally lift it up. No need to do that. So always the effort should be here. And then let it go.
So more kind of lower body is going to be also more.
Yeah. So
not necessarily up and down, but it's going to be more.
Yeah, you have to let the body shifting this way, and then we'll work on that in stage 3 mainly. Yeah. So you will see that your backswing is fairly slow. Now everything is just flowing. So particularly if you emphasize the wind-up part instead of downswing, as you have a good wind-up here, naturally you'll have more time here. Then let it go. So try to have intentionally have
faster all the way. It's just faster getting up here, and then you got more time.
And they have more time up here.
All right.
Yeah. So when you rush, then you always tend to use your upper body. And then when you don't have enough time, then your body does not have enough time to shift and then prepare for the downswing. That's why it becomes arm-driven swing. So during the backswing, have good wind up, and then let it go.
So it's not the speed.
So it's a reasonably fast, but you try to have a good range of motion. Use your range of motion, and then come down. Okay. So we'll mainly work on this, but as you go up, from here, instead of opening the chest early, keep it closed and start the downswing like this, still with the closed shoulders, and then let it go. Again, a good wind up. Yes. Now that is really good. Yes, you have a really good shallowing of the club. The downswing.
And that's from the
downswing plane. I really like it. The current downswing plane is. So you are delaying opening of the chest. Yes. Then when you use this pattern, you will feel more and more you are using these muscles. Okay. Again, stage 1. Yeah, very good. And then when you tend to lose your balance at the end, then all you need to do is just add wrist motion here.
So instead of trying to hold it, just
let the wrist go. Then that way, with the active wrist, then you will actually slow down the body turn. So so always the wrist motion, the arm motion, wrist motion should be added at the end. Okay, so this way, and then add the wrist motion. On the way down, also add wrist motion.
So it's the reverse. Body going back first, and then body slip.
So body initiates the turn, and then later you add the arm and wrist motion. That way, so as the body starts the turn, you don't have to let the club go away, because you keep the shoulders closed more. So that means you will keep the club closer to your body, okay, and then let it go.
You're talking about the arm motion up. So if it's all body here.
And then add the arm motion and the wrist motion. And then you can relax your arms a bit more here on the way back. It doesn't have to be too rigid like this. Because all in all, we want to feel the motion of the club. And then use the arm and wrist motion here. You don't have to hold it really, you know.
So the arm
hard.
and the wrist just essentially gives you a little bit of time.
Yeah. Yeah, so when you by using the momentum and then let it go, then you will have more time here because the magnitude of motion will increase, right? So, but the way you are coming down is really good now. So, again, start the downswing with the more closed shoulder posture. Stage 1. Yeah. All right, so let me record this. Stage 1 again. Ready, go. Go. Yep. Ready, go. Go. So this was the previous stage 1. So it was a bit rushed. And then the timing of the left step was a bit late. So you just go here and then try to pull the arm down. Now with this, it's better you're starting from this position here. So this is good. Let's move on to stage 2. In stage 2, you will eliminate the first step. So assume slightly wider stance, but not full stance.
So the step is still coming.
Yeah. Give this room here. And then still the same thing, trigger, and then active backswing, and then take only this step. Yeah. And then try to have a bit faster trigger and then faster backswing. See how it goes. It feels strange, but I like it. I like it. So try to have a faster trigger, just so you did, and then faster backswing. And when you have faster backswing, naturally, because of momentum, you will have more time there.
Faster, and then when you add.
Because this motion.
Faster until you add some.
Yeah. Unless you try to intentionally pull it down, because this fast motion, you have to wind up more. Right. Good motion and then wind up. Yeah, that I like. Yes, you see, now the speed is very different. It's a lot more active. Yeah. Yes, very good. Now let me record this. So the backswing, if you do it right and they have enough time here, then that does not hurt the consistency in the downswing. Actually, because the faster backswing will prepare your body better, so on the way down you will be able to use your body.
So that's, if I hit it bad, it's always from getting fast from the top or not finishing.
But as long as you use your body more and have good wind up, and you wait until this is matured and then coming down, no problem. Actually, it'll just give you more dynamic motion. So remember that speed, okay? Okay, ready, go. Ready, go. Go. Yeah, now everything is flowing really well. So you don't even have to worry about what to do. It's just a continuous motion, okay? One piece continuous motion. So now let's see how far your club goes in the backswing. It can go a bit more, okay? So currently it's almost horizontal. And then
Is that more with the wrists, or
you can add a bit of wrist motion there. And then when you allow this motion, then that means you'll have to have a bit more time there. Automatically you will have more time. So don't worry about the club head going below the horizontal line, okay? Yeah, now the flow is a lot better. It's just one motion.
have like what looked like a little hitch or something.
So you don't have to really worry about what to do here. Just keep the motion continuous, right? Now let's move on to a stage 3. In stage 3, no step. So assume your regular stance. The same idea with the trigger, have a good, with that, and then active backswing. Again, remember fast backswing. Now here, let's from the beginning, let's do this. So during the backswing, try to shift the body that way, excessively. Yeah. See how far you can go. Okay. Shift as much as you can.
All over.
In this motion, because everything is continuous, it's dynamic, so your legs will not allow your pelvis to go too far. So don't worry about falling off. Just try to have excessive shift. In order to have good shift, when the trigger motion is kind of maturing here, then you shift, then turn around. So you cannot do the shift and the turn at the same time. So the shift should be first, and then turn around, okay? So let's see how far you can go. Yeah, and then try to have more wind up. Yeah. So your goal here is more wind up, more than anything. Don't worry about the downswing. Yes. The more wind up you have, the better, because you have more time automatically with the more wind up, and then you will really be able to take advantage of this. When you have good shift and then turn around.
So feeling like if this is fast, once you're up here, you're fine kind of just...
Automatically you're coming this way.
That's where
Yeah, so in order to have this good recentering, you have to introduce this good shift away. When you good shift away, then automatically you will have recentering. So you don't have to worry about intentionally shifting this way. So again, good trigger, shift away. And you can shift away and then recenter more. So try to increase the lateral motion more. Yeah, so what happens is the static posture and the dynamic motion are very different. In static, you can go this far, right? But in dynamic motion, when you have continuous motion, you have to turn the motion back. Because of that, you cannot really move the pelvis too much away. So just when you try to let it go as much as possible, still it will be under the control of your leg actions.
So when you're pushing this way, you're almost right away coming back,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. And automatically you will be able to come back. So don't be afraid of shifting. So try to shift a bit more. You still have more room. Again. So the whole idea is shift away more, and then during the backswing, before the backswing is completed, the recenter. So from here, shift away and then recenter by using the right leg. Yeah. So you have to push the ground with the right leg actively. That will turn the direction back. So now let me watch from behind here. So let's see how much you can go this way. Hold my hand. And then, so in this position, try to pull my hand here by shifting first. Shift first. Let the pelvis go about here, and then turn around. Turn around. Yeah. So what should happen is you should have the right leg almost vertical here. The right hip is above the right foot, and then turn around. And the pull this
So
hand.
shift and weight, and then.
Yeah. So that means you have to really bear the weight with your right leg. Okay, that much. And again, pull this, and then this way, pull opposite way again. Yeah, pull, 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 pull like this.
Use my legs like that.
And then suddenly you will feel tension in the hip muscles, these muscles here. So these are how you have to activate your hip muscles.
So it's coming this way. It's get the weight here. And
Yes, and then turn around. When you turn around, then naturally you will start moving
weight,
this
and
way.
then you
Yeah.
turn.
So instead of keeping the butt sticking out this way, let the pelvis go this way, shift first, turn around, and automatically you will have recentering motion.
All right.
So this is very different from what you have done. Generally, golfers have a bias to this direction. So from the beginning, the pelvis is slightly this way here, and then less motion this way, and then try to slide here. But when you have more active motion, let the left hip go in front of the right hip like this. You're pushing in the left side. This will move slightly. This will move forward more. So as a result, your pelvic center mass will move forward. But that does not mean you are standing like this. You keep the spine axis here. So the pelvis is moving like this, and then shift, and then turn around. So when you have a good shift motion, pelvis motion,
Wait, you're talking the shift motion is get the weight here.
yeah,
And
then you will be able to use the legs a lot better. So again, fold the arms, and yeah. So from this position, so at the end of the trigger, again, and then go to the, yeah, from this position, when you start the backswing, shift, yeah, backward, and then turn around, and then going backward.
So the weight's almost already on this side before
Before you're turning.
from here.
Yes, yes, exactly. Yep. That's the continuous dance motion. So once you are into it, then you'll feel that this is quite natural. But because you're not used to this.
Oh.
So again, with this, just to do what you just did. Yes. So always shift first and then turn around, shift and turn around. Exactly. So although you have good leg action here, your body is not actually moving up and down a lot because the hip is moving up and down.
And this is all staying.
Yeah, so it's not, this upper part is not moving that much. Okay, and also when you have good pelvis motion here, so you're moving in this space here, your head is not moving literally that much if you have good reverse pivot posture, your pivot posture here. But your pelvis is moving quite a bit here. So in order to use the legs well, then your pelvis has to move.
The lateral.
Yeah, because the legs are connected to the pelvis. So unless you have regional pelvis motion, that means that you are not using the legs that well, right? So when you have good active leg action, then the pelvis has to move. Yeah, feel that the rhythm. Again, stage 3. So have intentional excessive lateral motion. This time you put too much effort in the downswing. But remember, the backswing, the wind-up should be the main one. Yes. When you have a good wind-up, automatically you have a good downswing. Again, try to adjust the swing plane, so more toward the target. Yes, again. During the trigger motion, the club is going higher, so keep it a bit lower. Yeah. So now the flow is good. You can add the lateral motion more and more, but still, because this is a one-piece motion, continuous motion, you cannot go too far, because your legs will not allow you to move the pelvis too much. So within given
about too far coming this way.
both ways, yeah. Within that given stance, just move as much as you can. But still, because it is, when you have this continuous motion, you cannot do this too much. Again, stage 3. Give a good shift motion.
And that shift motion is, again, it's getting the weight over here.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And then, so this should come from even from the trigger motion, right? And then you can shift it this way a bit more in the downswing. So give good recentering, and then while you are shifting toward the target, wait a bit more and then let it go. And then, here, when you start the downswing, again, keep the shoulder closed. So the idea is, as you recenter, so go away, and as you recenter, still you are turning backward, and then letting it go. So turn is not completed yet, okay? As you so first here, shift away. Shift, when you shift, just a shift, and then turn around. And as you are going closer to the top of backswing, you recentering and keep turning more, and then let it go. Okay? So overlap the turn and then this shift. So when you recenter here and then have the image of turning this more and then let it go. Then that way you will be able to delay the opening of the chest completely. Exactly. Yes. Yes. So you're really using your body now. I will record this. And then you will be able to engage your legs more and more. So ready, go. Go. So as long as you don't rush down, okay, as long as you don't rush down, you'll have good timing. So ready, go. Go. Tendency of rushing, yeah. But now the last one we did. Let's see. Now you have more this motion here. Now, if you look at the club motion carefully on the way down, you see like a more.
It's not out right away.
More drawing sword from the sheet. You see, still you have a little bit tendency of letting the club go here. But with this motion, it's coming more this way because you have continuous motion here. So you're starting the downswing with the body motion here. So no need to let
it feels like slower up there than it looks.
Now you have a good timing here. Look at this. So that way you have good shallowing here and then let it go. So again, stage 3. So keep the feel that you keep turning backward while you are recentering, right? And then let it go. Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's take a look at what we captured before.
So that feels easier to try to get it moving quicker versus trying to do everything with my arms.
So this one, let me go back to your initial swing. You see, it's fairly rushing here. Now, even just watching from that direction, no, it's a lot more connected,
Yeah.
and then you have just one piece motion. So really, what matters in your case is just involve your lower body more and more. Okay, and then just feel the rhythm, ride the rhythm, and also you had the tendency of letting the club go away early because you were pulling it down with the arms. But if you keep turning as you recenter, so you delay the opening.
Is that like kind of getting used to that too? When you delay it, kind of quick right here with your shots and then let the rest just.
So with this, you will, when you bring this down, it's shallowing. With that, the club is more moving like you're drawing a sword from the shed.
And the more I let that go, the
And
less
then
it'll,
let it go as
less
you're
hold on.
opening here and then let it go.
Versus that's the,
And then the only thing left here is adding your wrist motion intentionally. So on the way down, try to use your wrist more actively. So with the same thing, just to try to add your wrist a bit more actively. Yeah. So when you use wrist actively, then you don't have to open the upper body too much, because the club will catch up, right, with the wrist action. Yeah. And with that, you will have more stable finish position. Yeah. So you have to use everything you have in order to increase the speed, right?
it feels easier than
Yeah.
before.
Because you are initially moving the body with the big muscles. So when the body is not moving, when you initially try to start the motion, you have to use the big muscles to generate the large acceleration. But later, you will just use every inch of, or every ounce of energy you have, just to add the wrist motion at the end, so that you just keep helping the club motion. The big motion is done by the big muscles here. And then at the end, as you approach it to the impact position, then you add more peripheral muscles, and then try to speed up the club head. That's why we have to add the arm motion and the wrist motion toward the end of the turn instead of early. So during the backswing, when you start the backswing, if you introduce the wrist cock early, this just ruins the sequence. Okay?
That's how I always. Yeah.
So again, stage 3. So have a good wind up and also continuous shoulder turn, and then so delay the opening, and then add your wrist motion at the end. Yeah. Yeah, so very good. So let me record this one last time, and then we'll move on to your regular swing. Okay, stage 3, ready, go. Go. Yeah, your swing is becoming more rhythmic, and then if you start adding more vertical action, then that will be really good. Okay, so ready, go. Go. Now, as you do this, feel the vertical motion, vertical rhythm a little bit. So when you throw this way, it's actually coming from the left push, left leg push. During the backswing, when you try to introduce the recentering motion, that's actually coming from the right leg push, right? So left leg, left push, right push, and then left push. So try to increase the vertical action a bit more while maintaining what you're currently doing. So feel a little bit of up and down motion. Again. So this will basically dictate your overall rhythm. So remember, when we looked at the data, you didn't have much vertical interaction with the ground, right? So the force has to increase and then decrease, so it goes above the body weight and below the body weight. Push and the unweight and push, you have to repeat that. So in order to increase that, you have to feel of a little bit of up and down feel here. But still, the hips are moving up here. Your head is not moving that much. So once you have this good vertical rhythm, then you will never lose the tempo. So I also mentioned that while we're watching the data, but when I was taking the picture during the swing capture, I had initially I had the right timing, but as it progressed, your tempo changed. So I could not hit the shutter at the right time. So I struggled a little bit. That means from swing to swing, when you have a change in overall tempo, in order to improve the consistency in tempo, then you have to have a good vertical rhythm here. When the vertical rhythm is in place, it's hard to get out of tempo.
Is that like kettlebell and rope can help?
Yeah. So, but the tempo is slightly different. The kettlebell, you have equal action both ways. So you have a similar time here, but here, obviously, backswing is slower than the downswing. So downswing, you use a lot less time. However, overall, when you shift it this way and shift it this way, that has to come with a good push here. The push here, and then push. So when you feel that.
So the push is just getting this way.
Yeah, the push will actually help you to shift in the opposite direction. So when you start using that push, that feel of a push, then suddenly you have really good vertical rhythm. Then that will dictate the overall rhythm. Okay, so always when you swing back and forth, try to dance a little bit. The feel of dancing. And they have good push. Good push means that you have to also move the hip up. So what happens is, in order to recenter here, good push up and then recentering this way. Okay? Good push and then going this way.
This right push though is pushing this way, right?
Yeah. So.
It's not up. It's already over here. It's kind of.
Yeah. When you push, then what happens is the hip moves up, but at the same time you will also be able to introduce this motion. So the up motion of the hip, and then shifting, those will come from that push. So when you have sort of a up feel, then it'll be really good. Yeah. So in general, from now what you have to work on is just that sort of that kind of vertical rhythm. Yeah. When you have that vertical rhythm, it will help also the horizontal rhythm, and then you will not be able to go out of tempo. So even you are under pressure, still you will be able to maintain the same rhythm. So let me record this, and then we'll move on to your regular swing. So dance, dance, dance. Okay, ready.
Keep swinging. There's the third.
This is stage 3. Ready, go. Yeah, go. I can now see that you're having this rhythm. So you need more practice, but
It feels like.
yeah.
That's the last thing you want to do is swing.
Then that will give you good leg actions. Ready, go. Go. Yeah. That also will give you good timing, because when you have a push and then push, in between you have unweighting. During the unweighting, you will have just a shift motion. Yeah. When I record, and I tend to move my body with your body, so the camera moves. Yeah, this one and what you just did. Yeah, so you can see the difference.
It's weird because what it feels like, it's nowhere near the concern. It's like you're going up and down. And
Yeah, you have this motion, but still your body is not moving that, too much. Yeah, so this is good. Now, let's move on to your regular swing. So from now on, always use a stage 3 as your pre-shot routine, and then approach to your bone. So when you have good feel of the overall flow, and then you will approach to the ball. So give me stage 3 and your regular swing. Mm-hmm. In order to have a good rhythmic motion in your regular swing, you start the backswing with the shift first. So instead of lowering the body.
so I can almost go this way and then.
Yeah, so start the backswing with the shift first. Good shift and then turn around. This turn will give you recentering motion, right? And then so as you shift and then instead of going quickly with your arm here, use your body to turn. So that will give you, at the end of this turn, you will automatically have this recentering motion. Rushed. So in your backswing, the image, in terms of the backswing image, it should include this recentering motion as well. When you're going to this position, you are not lifting your arms, you're turning your body to go to that position. So when you shift here and then turn your body, then you will be able to add that recentering motion. Again, during the backswing, it's not your arm motion to bring the club up, but rather it's your body turn and then bring the arm here. Because arm motion is always added at the end, right?
So I don't need to worry about getting the club.
No.
Do it all.
It's not intentional arm motion, but try to use the body turn to bring the. Yeah, so again, you have to feel the rhythm here. So what should happen is as you start the backswing, up to this point, simply by turning the body, you will be able to go here, and then add the arm motion and shift motion here. So go here and then going this way. Turn and then recenter. So instead of go here and then try to, when you lift your arm and then your upper body goes down, that's your initial swing, right? So the turn should come from body turn, and then add the arm motion here with the recentering motion. So again, stage 3. So if you remember what you did in the stage 3, then it'll be easier to do. Yes. Again, more shift, and then you have to bring the right hip up. Again, stage 3. Let's do this. Currently in the backswing, your hips are going backward too much. But so here, during the backswing, as you go here, feel that you are standing tall here by pushing the ground, but it doesn't mean you're moving you're lifting the spine axis, but keep the spine axis, but stand tall here, and then with that, moving this way in stage 3. Taller. During the backswing, go taller, and then let it go. Yeah. Go taller, and then let it go. Again, Again, in stage 3, when you push the right leg, go taller, let it go. That is the key in vertical rhythm. When you go tall here, yeah, that will give you good vertical rhythm. Again.
Regular 3.
Level 3, the stage 3 and your regular swing. From now on, always both. That gives you a lot better rhythm, yeah. Now again, you need to feel that the up motion here. So,
The right leg.
yeah, and instead of again from the setup position, instead of moving your right hip back here, you have to shift laterally and then push tall and then going this way. Okay, so
So this doesn't go back that much.
not much. So because the left will go forward more. So tall and then come down here. Also slow. It was slow. The backswing is slow. So you have to really connect your stage 3 and then your regular swing. You have to remember what you did in stage 3. So particularly how you moved your body early on. Okay. So stand tall in the backswing. And then you have to turn your shoulder more and then shift more. So before, let it go. Remember this. In the regular, in stage 3, with this motion, you have a good wind up and going to this position and then delay the opening, right? The same, at least you should have the same thing here. So your goal is to go to this reverse pivot posture here during the backswing. Because there will, and then with that, stand tall here, and then naturally you will have this shift here. So try to reach the reverse pivot posture. Now with that, the regular swing, you have to achieve the same thing. Reverse pivot, and let it go. Yeah, so you can practice this. So always, because you can have a good flow in stage 3, so connecting this to your regular swing, that's what you need to work on quite a bit. Okay?
Quite a bit.
Yeah, but you will get it quickly. So as long as you remember the key component. Most important one is during the backswing. Since you can have good horizontal flow, it's not a problem. So then pay attention to more vertical motion, and particularly during the backswing with a good push to the ground. So try to remember this motion here. When you pulled my hand, you use the leg and
So, see a lot of people, if you do to get back that way, like when you're set up, if I come like this, it's not like that. It's back here first and then.
So essentially your goal is to,
It's not.
So your goal is to pull this up this way and going into the reverse pivot posture. Remember that you pulled my hand up using the shift and the turn motion. Feel the same thing. So during the backswing,
It's two parts though. It's one's getting here and then the second is
so
it's together.
but still it's continuous. So go shift away and then push, and then your goal is to bring your body back. So by pushing the ground. So if you image that you are moving this more up here instead of going out here. So again, stage 3, and let's do this one last time. Stage 3 and your regular swing. Yes. So the more you do have that standing tall action, yeah. So you are getting it. Today, I have to sort of drive my son to his orchestra practice, so that's why I've stopped now. But I see that you are getting closer. Okay? It's just a matter of practicing.
A lot of years.
Purposeful practice. Now, stage 3 is not a problem. Just try to add this stand tall aspect. This will help this turning and then recentering everything. So stand tall here and then let it go. As you pay attention to this, then the backswing will be also stand tall and then essentially going into this reverse pivot position. You don't have to intentionally move your arms. Just turn around and bring the arms here. And then on the way down, use your body muscles first and then let it go. So that's all you need. So you engage these muscles more and more. Okay?